In today's video, we'll be going over the impact that the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF will have on the markets and the price of Bitcoin, as well as BlackRock, the world's largest money manager with over $9.4 trillion in assets, their stance in 2017 versus today in 2023, and also Michael Saylor's price prediction. Michael Saylor is the co-founder and executive chairman of MicroStrategy, the publicly traded company that owns the most Bitcoin in the world. My name is Megan Nilsson. I go by Crypto Megan. I'll be your host for today. I got my Bitcoin hat on. I am mega ultra bullish green on the background. And for those of you who know me, I usually got my bullish green nails. Today I don't have them, but I'm just as bullish as ever. So if you do want to follow me and get to know about my whereabouts in the crypto world, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Crypto Megan, and subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on time-sensitive videos in my initiative to bring you daily videos in this 200-day to Bitcoin halving countdown. So, Michael Saylor's ultimate price prediction will be at the end, so stay tuned to the full video if you want to see Michael Saylor's ultimate mega price prediction for Bitcoin, as well as what happened to gold after BlackRock approved the gold ETF in 2004. Let's dive right into it. So not too long ago, in 2017, BlackRock saw Bitcoin as simply an index for money laundering. Then in 2018, they came out and said that absolutely none of their clients were looking to invest in Bitcoin.
Crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs is building out a cryptocurrency trading desk. Morgan Stanley is doing the same thing.
I'm not in the trading area.
Morgan's doing the same thing.
Yes, because there's elements of people who are looking to trade it. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time.
So BlackRock was not too fond of Bitcoin back then, to say the least. And back then, by back then I mean only about 4 years ago. Since then, BlackRock has drastically changed its tone, as Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, was seen yesterday on Fox News claiming that Bitcoin is a flight to quality. Check it out.
Specifics of anything. I think it's just an example of the pent-up interest in crypto. And we are hearing from clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
And now, on to the analysis of where we started with Bitcoin and where we're at today by Michael Saylor himself. According to Michael Saylor, Bitcoin reached its maturity stage through its adolescent stage from 2020 to 2024 and is now growing up and blossoming into the amazing asset that it is today.
I think that from the years 2020 to 2024, that was the great transition of Bitcoin from being a retail asset in the crypto ecosystem, offshore, unregulated, poorly understood, the Wild West. And by the end of 2024, it will have emerged as an institutional asset in the mainstream financial ecosystems on Wall Street. Bitcoin's coming to Wall Street.
Now that Bitcoin's blossomed and flourished as an asset, according to Michael Saylor, we're going to examine just how essential a spot Bitcoin ETF is in reaching that ultimate maturity, mass adoption, and allowing the floodgates to open to allow billions and trillions of dollars of capital to flow into Bitcoin, essentially to plug it into Wall Street.
So all of these systems allow an employee working for the company for 2 years to punch a button and buy $10 million of something like Apple stock or government bonds or S&P index And so that's what you would expect if you're running the pension fund of a fireman's union. You expect those controls, and if you're going to create a scalable system, you need all of those systems, if not to make sure that no one steals all your money, to make sure that you actually pay your taxes and you compensate people, and then you can do your accounting and you can do your reporting. So they can't buy Bitcoin right now. And the only way to buy Bitcoin the hardcore maxi way is they have to rebuild every single one of those systems. It took 30 years to build those systems. They're not rebuilding a parallel system that took 30 years to buy one new thing. When you see these spot ETFs get put in place, you're going to be creating the equivalent of a 6-lane superhighway between Wall Street and Bitcoin. And now you're going to see billions and billions of dollars flow. In some cases, billions a week. In some cases, could be billions a day. And until you see it, you won't see any capital flow from those institutions. It's trapped in the 20th century asset classes.
So as you can see, although it might not be the purest form to invest in Bitcoin, it's the fast track to allowing institutions who otherwise could never touch the asset to be able to invest, and also to allow their clients to invest in a simple, set it and forget it, stress-free way. So now let's get into price predictions for short, medium, and long term. As you can see, when the fake news happened that the BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF was approved, Bitcoin shot up immediately to $30,000, which some would say shows that the ETF approval is not priced in. Within 15 minutes, the Bitcoin market cap increased by $50 billion. It's estimated that the actual money flowing into Bitcoin at this time was less than $1 billion, for a ratio of 1 to 50. A former BlackRock director estimated that 100 billion to 200 billion would flow in the subsequent 3 years after all Bitcoin ETFs have been approved. Using the same ratio and being on the safer side at 100 billion, that would put Bitcoin's total market cap at a price of $5 trillion, which would send the actual Bitcoin price to around $250,000. Now remember, that is within the next 3 years, according to the former BlackRock manager. And now, the price prediction you've all been waiting for from Michael Saylor himself, long term. Michael Saylor says that the Bitcoin market cap will reach anywhere from between 100 to 200 trillion.
Bitcoin is emerging as an institutional grade asset, and it's not going to be competing with the Bitcoin forks or other proof of work coins, or Sam Bankman-Fried's favorite yo-yo token, but it's or apes or cats or crazy crypto things. It won't be thought of as that. It's going to be competing against owning a block of real estate in London, or owning New York, or owning a ton of gold, or owning a building, or perhaps owning $1 billion of the S&P index, or owning 1 million shares of Apple stock. And so definitely nobody thought that in 2019 or 2020. But if Bitcoin's going to grow up, right, Bitcoin's on a path to go from nothing to 500 billion to 10 trillion to 100 trillion dollars to 200 trillion. At some point, it should be 10, 20, 30% of all of the wealth in the world.
For context, the current market cap of Bitcoin is around 550 billion. The projected total wealth market cap in the world is around 450 trillion. So 10% of that would put Bitcoin at around 42 trillion, and 30% of that would put Bitcoin at a whopping $127 trillion. A UBS and Credit Suisse report was put out for a projection of world total wealth in 2027, and it came to a whopping 629 trillion. And guess what? 30% of that would put Bitcoin at around $200 trillion market cap. So here's how Michael Saylor gets to his ultimate price prediction and beyond, he says, which, spoiler alert, is $10 million per coin.
When you think of it as digital gold, then it should replace gold. Gold's worth $10 trillion, and that takes Bitcoin to 500,000. But when you think of it as digital property, like replacing buildings and land and other long storeholds of wealth, then, you're up by a factor of 20 or 30 from there. I mean, it should not be. If you think of it like that, then it's a multi-$100 trillion asset class. So at 10 trillion, it's 500,000. At 100 trillion, it's 5 million. So I think, we're marching toward $10 trillion, which is, $10 million a coin.
As a final note to leave you with, here's what happened to the price of gold after the BlackRock Gold ETF was approved in 2004. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something. Tomorrow, I'll be breaking down the price predictions for 2024 by some of the crypto industry's top industry leaders. So stay tuned, hit that notification bell so you don't miss these time-sensitive updates, and I'll see you tomorrow.